Welcome back to the channel, guys, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today's video, we are going to bring you my take on a JESKAI fire style deck that's been floating around the meta. Before we do, though, guys, jump into that, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below here in the bottom right, I'd really appreciate it. We're so close to 200 subscribers. If we can hit 200 subscribers off this video, I would be super grateful for that and really appreciative. But with all that being said, let's jump into the deck tech, see what cards we run into this deck, and then we'll jump into some gameplay after that, and then a little bit of a wrap up at the end. See you guys there. All right, guys, let's get into it. Before we jump into this deck, though, I just want to let you guys know next week on Monday, we post a video every single Monday. We're going to be going over this Moth Reborn deck. Just a little heads up and sneak preview for the next week's video. But let's go ahead and jump into Narset of Invention. This is a new JESKAI Fires deck that I run. This one's, like I said, is super competitive. We're going to go through all the cards and why we run them really quickly, and then jump into some gameplay. So first up, we have Bonecrusher Giant because it's a JESKAI Fires deck, and Bonecrusher is just too good not to run in any sort of Fires deck. I could say the same thing for Teferi as well. That's why we run 4 apiece. The utility on these is just too good. Teferi slowing down the game, obviously, with his bounce effect, also getting that draw a card effect as well. It really sets us up early game, as well as Bonecrusher Giant taking care of those small creatures, those speedy style decks early on in the game, stopping things away that are important to our opponent. Getting us all set up for the future. So this deck runs really heavy mana based creatures and planeswalkers. So we're trying to set ourselves up for future gameplay. So those two will help us get there, as well as Shatter the Sky. You can run Deafening Clarion in the deck, but I found that Shatter the Sky takes care of obviously a much more wide range of creatures on the board. So Shatter the Sky is really helpful. That's why we run 4 of all of these, and you'll see that the number 4 actually drops down starting now. Fires of Invention, we only run 3 because we never really want to have more than 1 out on the board. We have run into some decks that obviously can get rid of enchantments on the board, so having 2 on the board, if you can, just go ahead and do it. But obviously 1 is all you need. Other than that, it's kind of a waste of mana. It's kind of a waste of a play on a turn. So 3 Fires of Invention should be good enough to get you, it should be good enough for you to find it during any game that you need it, but not be over bogged to getting multiples in your hand at one time. So that's why we run 3 of those. Once that's out on the board, we're pretty much golden, guys, because we run all these heavy things, like I said, and we can run 2 at a time per turn. So up next we have Narset. Narset would be obviously the one that we play back to back with Fires. You drop a Fires, you drop a Narset same turn. It's a really great combo. Narset is a fantastic utility card. You can follow it up the next turn. If you don't have the mana, you can follow it up the next turn by plussing 1, adding mana, and gaining 2 life, and then being able to play one of these guys right here, 5-drop Elspeth Conquers Death or Cavalier of Flames. So Narset's +1 is very good. Her -2 is probably even better. It's a really nice removal spell. So if something is out on the field and say you can't get it, you have like let's say we have an ultimatum in your hand, which I've run into quite a bit, and the ultimatum deals 5 damage to that creature or planeswalker, but they're at 6 loyalty or 6 toughness. You can actually Narset -2, draw a card, discard your ultimatum, and now it's dealing 7 damage to that creature or planeswalker because her -2 allows you to deal the damage of the mana cost. So it's very good card to have. Very good utility. I have unfortunately not been able to run her -6 ultimate yet, but it's very cool. You actually get to deal 2 damage to any target every time you play any non-creature spell. So very cool. I can't wait to play that. I feel like that's going to be fantastic for those really drawn out long games. Up next we have Cavalier of Flames. Cavalier of Flames is our game ending finisher. This is a card that not a lot of people are running right now in this deck, and I feel like it's kind of a must have. I've almost ended 80% of my games with this card. Before it wasn't running this, there was really no hard press finishers other than Godzilla and Shark Typhoon, and sometimes those two things are hard to get out on the field. So Cavalier of Flames is one of those trusty 5 drops that you know you're going to get out on the field. As long as you have your Fires of Invention out, you shouldn't have any problem with it being a 3 fire cost. I haven't yet run into a problem with that. As long as you combo up those two, you're good to go, and it ends games fast. You pump it up, you drop it with the Fires of Invention for free. All your mana's still up on the board. You pump it up 3 different times, you go straight to their face. It's such a good card, and then its effect to draw cards, discard and draw cards, is amazing as well. If you're just loaded up on lands in the hand, you dump those out, draw a fresh set of cards, and you're good to go. So gotta have 3 of those. You can even probably run up to 4, but I think 3 is good enough. I haven't had a game where I've been struggling to find it to end a game yet, so 3's been pretty good for me. Up next, we have Elspeth Conquers Death. Obviously, running 4 of these, discard is just too good not to run 4 of. Its removal, especially in this meta nowadays, we're not seeing a whole lot of small creatures anymore. We're seeing really big, gigantic creatures and planeswalkers. So this card has just been fantastic for removal and getting back our Narset and Teferi. It also allows me, if I have this in my hand, to get wild with my Narset. Say I want a -2. Even though there's creatures on the board and I have no blockers to protect it, that's fine. I know I'm going to get it back because I have a Elspeth Conquers Death in hand, so I can get some double removal back to back and get Narset back down the road. So gotta have 4 of those. Another finisher card of ours is Shark Typhoon. It has a really cool cycling ability where if you cycle it for 2 plus X, you get to put an XX blue shark token on the field that's flying. It's really, really cool, guys. But if you're able to play it after you've dropped the fires 2 turns down the road, if you're able to play Shark Typhoon, it's really, really hard to deal with. Once this is on the board, you just start dropping things out like Elspeth. You get a 5/5 shark. I've actually found out that if you play Shatter the Sky, you get your 4/4 shark, then it wipes, so that was no good. But if you play another Fires of Invention, your ultimatums, you just start getting sharks like crazy. You can even play another Shark Typhoon and you get another shark. Narset gives you a shark, so it's a really good card to run. But we do still run quite a bit of creatures for JESKAI deck. We have run 3, so I only run 3 of these. No need to run 4. We're not super heavy like spell type decks, instant sorceries, all that type of thing. So 3 gets the job done, and like I said, once it's on the board, it can end games pretty quickly. Now we have Godzilla, guys. Godzilla is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I was this close to cutting this card from the deck, and wow, how dumb would that have been? Because this card is MVP, guys. The cycling effect on this is really great for early game. You'll see we actually had a game where we were able to cycle through this 4 times. Once you've cycled through this card 4 times, it just goes straight onto the battlefield. It's so good, guys. And it's not that hard to play it once Fires of Invention has been out. It's not that hard to play this while you have a Cavalier out on the field. And once that happens, it's game over. There's really nothing that can stop it, because this gives, it's going to pump it up to like 10, 11, maybe even 12. And then it has trample and haste, so they're not going to see it coming once it hits the board. It's going to have that haste effect for 12. They're not going to know how to deal with it. It's not going to be and it's not going to be a good day for your opponent if this hits the board. So it's just too good. You got to run 4 of these. It's kind of the engine of the deck, so very, very good card. And then last but not least, we have 2 ultimatums. The ultimatum, this can really save your butt if you're in a real big bind. Say you're down, to your last couple, life points, and you are dead on your hand. Well, this just saves your life because it deals 5 damage to any target. So it's a nice little removal. You draw 5 cards, refilling your entire hand, and you gain 5 life, really kind of keeping you alive. So if you're able to play this in certain key moments, it can be a big lifesaver. But if you're ahead of the game, like I said, Narset's not a bad way to just -2 and deal 7 damage straight up to somebody's face. So it's a really cool card, but you only really need 2. There's not going to be a lot of times you could play a 7-mana card that is very specific to its colors, but that's why we also have Fires of Invention. So only running 2 should be a really cool utility. Now we get into the lands, guys. Before we get into the lands, I do want to say I don't have a very elaborate collection of cards, so I'm missing a lot of the lands. You're going to want to run obviously all your shock lands. You're gonna run a few Fabled Passages, things like that. I did what I could with my lands, so this is by no means copy paste these to your deck. If you can run 4 Triomes, definitely run 4 Triomes. If you can run at least 2 Fabled Passages, run 2 Fabled Passages. And the colors, like I said, by no means. I just had to work with what I had and go from there, but I haven't seemed to run into any problems as far as the colors go. Fires of Invention really helps with that problem. As long as I have one red card, they all basically become any color I want them to be. So do with what you want with the lands. I apologize that I don't have those set up for you guys, but like I said, we're growing our collection every single day. The more subscribers and to the channel we get, the more views, the bigger this gets. I can start taking a little bit of time off on other things like my other job that I have and stuff like that. Obviously, I want to get you guys more videos weekly. I want to get more cards. I want to keep producing more Magic content for you guys. So don't forget to subscribe, and we'll jump right into some gameplay. You guys will be able to see 4 different games here, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some things maybe that we could change and go from there. All right, have fun, guys. Peace. All right, let's get into game 1. Little backstory, guys. We played this deck yesterday just for fun to play test it, and ended up getting up into gold 3. So I think we're going to keep grinding this deck out and eventually get into some platinum status. That'd be really nice. Never been there before, still kind of new to the game, so really excited about that. I'm going to keep this hand, and the reason being is because we have Fires of Invention. So as long as we got our 1 red source, we're fine. We don't need to really worry about the white source at the moment, so we'll take it. Plus, we've got Godzilla. Anytime you have Godzilla, you keep it because you can cycle early. Cycling early. I have hit the Godzilla cycle where you get 4 cycles and then he comes onto the field. I have pulled it off one time. And that was really fun. Blue, white with an Omen of the Sea. Are we playing Azorius Control? Are we playing a flash deck? I hope not a flash deck. Flash decks are the only ones we've really kind of struggled with. Looks like we might be playing it though. Just waiting. Okay. But that's kind of cool. Cycling is an ability that you can counter, so that's really nice. Hopefully we hit a land here. I don't want to have to stress about hitting our land drop on that 4th one here. Sorry guys, I was up super late last night tuning this deck up, and I just woke up, so I'm a little bit out of it, but hopefully we don't make too many misplays. He's clearly got a handful of counters or something. But there we go. If this resolves, I'll feel a lot better. Nope. There it is. So we're probably playing a classic Azorius Control here. I'm actually really glad he played that. I'm really okay with that, because I can get my Fires of Invention out and my Narset. And honestly, I think we -2 here. Just take care of that right away. Get rid of his card draw. Now we just need to hit another land, and hopefully he plays maybe like another Teferi. That would be really, really clean. Okay, that'll work too. I get a Narset. Oh, he's gonna take the Fires. Okay, that's a play. I was hoping he was gonna take the Narset. I was gonna hit it next turn with this if possible. It's too bad. That's fine now. We can do this and still get this bad boy out. And pass turn. Narset coming in clutch there. Honestly, that might have been the first time I was able to use her +1 in that kind of a manner. Another Banishing Light. Okay, well, good thing I have another Elspeth, huh? The only problem is I just used up 3 Elspeths now, and I have no good targets at all in the graveyard, so that's too bad. Yeah, let's do this, and we're gonna bin the 2 Shatter the Skies, because going up against a control deck, we're not gonna be needing those. Let's go ahead and plus here. All right. Typically, when we get the Cavalier out, I like that, you know, Fires gets him out for free, and then we can buff him and just go right into the face. But unfortunately, we had to get Fires of Invention back first, so that didn't work out. Typically, we could play him and go straight into a haste attack. Oh, we do have a Teferi, actually, to get back with the Elspeth. I forgot about him. I take back what I said. All right, just waiting on our opponent here. Probably have to think pretty hard about what they want to do. Okay. This is good. I can actually watch this play, guys. This play is going to be pretty cool. We're going to get Teferi back this turn. Bounce our own Elspeth, replay Elspeth on Teferi. It's going to be really good. Loyalty +1. Yep. We'll take you. And we still get 2 plays here with Fires of Invention. We still get 2 goes. Get 3 new cards here. That'll work. Enters tapped. Let's plus her real quick. Oh, I should have did fire, huh? That was a big mistake. That was an oopsies. I could have got 1 more point of damage in there. Not a huge oopsies, but still an oopsies. I don't know. I don't know if will Narset's fire count towards that? Spend this mana only to cast non-creature spell. So yeah, I don't think it would work for activated abilities. We got to be careful with Narset, because many people I played against would play a Cavalier of Flames when I had a Narset on the board, empty their hand out, and then they can't draw a card. So you got to remember that little trick there. So we will play a Cavalier, but we're not going to discard anything out of the hand this time. Submit 0. +2. Let's see. I don't think it's going to work, but... Two. We have enough for lethal anyways. That's lethal. That was a fun one. We were able to see a lot of different intricate parts of the deck and explore it a little bit, so that was kind of fun. Let's get on to the next game. All right, on to game number 2. Sir lags a lot. Okay, sounds like my brother's. He's got my brother's internet. All right, we do have cycling 1 here, and then we have a Teferi that was not playable till we get a white source. I'm going to keep this. This might come back to haunt me, but I like that we have cycling on turn 2. I think that's going to be huge. So let's do this. Anytime I have Godzilla in the hand with 2 mana sources, I keep it. The only thing that worries me is they're not the colors that I would like to see. I would have liked to see, like, if this was a white source, that would be perfect. Hopefully this does not haunt me though. I've been known to get mana screwed because I get a little too greedy. Looks like we might be playing some sort of I'm gonna guess it's a black-white moth deck. There we go. Let's go, champ. We hit the white source. I didn't think we'd hit a I didn't think we'd hit the white source that's playable without being tapped. That was a bonus. I'm hoping that we are playing black-white like Orzhov, because that'd be really good, because that would mean he's not getting the mana he needs. Just take care of that now before we get some weird sacrifice stuff going on. Probably should have saved that for instant speed. Oh well. Yep, we should have saved it for instant speed. What was I thinking? All right, we just need one more mana though, and we can drop our Fires of Invention, and we can start discussing our how to use our Shatter the Sky, get the most value out of it. Come on, where's the mana though? All right, well, I guess we'll just get a body out in front as a blocker. Just looking for any mana, except for scry mana. We don't want anything else. We'll take it. What does he have that's instant speed? I hope he doesn't have Heartless Act. I hope it's not Heartless Act. It probably is. It probably is. Interesting. Murderous Rider. You know, it's funny, I saw a couple of those yesterday too. I didn't think that'd be a card I'd be seeing a whole lot of. Alright, well, drastic times call for drastic measures. Gonna kick away a 3 loyalty to Teferi. Because we gotta draw the land. Come on. There it is. Now we can start playing some Magic. I think we're really, honestly, I think we're okay though, because the style of deck we're up against right now, I think we're at a pretty decent advantage. Let's just go ahead and clear that off real quick. They're just not fast enough. If they were faster, they definitely would have destroyed us, because we were missing land drops like crazy. But the fact that they haven't gone as very fast has been really helpful for us to set our game up still. Perfect. That's all I wanted to see. Take that Citadel from you. Plus Teferi. And then we... Options. Okay, I was gonna say we have options here, all good options, but I was thinking about possibly playing the Narset, minusing 2 and binning like a Teferi, and then I could deal 3 damage to the Knight of Ebon Legion. That was probably gonna be the play I went with, but I also could have dropped a Cavalier of Flame on the board. I could have bounced them with Teferi. I had a lot of options, but there we go. Game 2 down. Let's keep it moving. All right, game 3. First 2 games, I can't lie, guys, pretty good. The second game, we got a little bit lucky. Like I said, the matchup was just favorable for us. I would like to see something a little newer, though. This deck performs pretty good against the newer meta as well, so I really hope we get a chance to see that. We have a really good opening hand here, too, so Godzilla for cycling. All the colors we need. We're looking pretty solid here. We got a scry early on. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep that. Keep in mind too, guys, I keep making this mistake. I made it like a million times now, but if you're going to play Scrylands and you're planning on cycling your Godzilla, make sure to cycle Godzilla, then drop your Scryland. Because I scry and then Godzilla cycling, actually, what it does is it shuffles the deck. And so before you draw your card, so it just kind of shuffles that top card that you just scried away. So it's really kind of annoying. I've done that many times where I went, oh, I really need that for the game, you know, to win the game. Like a game's on the line, and I cycle it away. Right here, goes right back into the deck, shuffles it, then you draw. I thought I was being smart, like, oh, I love that card on top. Let's go ahead and cycle right into it real quick, and then I lose it. Because I'm a genius. Scry. Yeah, let's scry. He's probably going to play Brineborn this next turn, and we'll stomp it immediately. Brineborn Cutthroat's coming. I don't know if this is Dimir Flash or if it's just Mono Blue Flash, but clearly some sort of Flash style deck. So we got to watch out for all these counters. Interesting. Fairy Vandal. That's actually a card I really, really enjoyed playing myself for a while. I wish we could have found a place for that. I had a really fun Azorius Flyers deck. It wasn't very good, but I love the Fairy Vandal counters going up on the draw. I love that effect. I think it's really cool. Let's Steam Vents, and then we'll pay 2 here because we want to cycle and Bone Crush Brineborn if it ends up coming out. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. My allergies, apologize. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. It's another Spectral Sailor? Okay. Interesting. Do we give it to him? Yeah, I think we let him have it. I think we have better targets for our stomp. The problem is he's going to start drawing cards off those Spectral Sailors, which is really annoying. Hopefully we draw into like a Shatter the Sky. That'd be nice. Ooh, I cannot believe I get it. That is amazing. That is amazing. We'll see you later, Sailors. Unless he's got a counter, which is very likely. Yeah, he does. He does. That's okay. I'd rather him counter that than other things that are coming up later. 3, 4, 5. We have 6 lands. I don't think we're gonna need any more than that. The ultimatum is the only thing that runs for 7. And hopefully we get a Fires of Invention before that. Interesting. Do I try to cycle this again? Or do... Yeah, let's cycle and play this. That way I'm out of the range of Quench. I can just hit 2 lands if he's got another Quench. I hate counter decks. They drive me crazy. Negate. Of course it's negate. Okay. Okay. At least we're just dealing with sailors right now, so we have time. But they're getting a little rowdy right now. Little rowdy. All right, let's cycle again. One more cycle, we got ourselves a Godzilla. I don't want this to get, I really want this to resolve. You know what I'm saying? Part of me wants to just play this for now. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Another negate. Yep, perfect. I'm glad I didn't try the Shark Typhoon. We might just cycle the Typhoon. Huh. Maybe. Or maybe we just test and see if he's got another negate. What do you think? What do you think? I want to get full value out of the Shark Typhoon. You know, I love playing it, and I know that's kind of greedy, but maybe we just cycle it. Let's just cycle it. Do we do it now though, before he draws another card, and hope that we can get it to resolve, or do we do it on his end or on his attack step and surprise him, and chance that he doesn't draw into another counter? I guess it's cycling, so he can't counter it. The new cycling is it's kind of hard to figure out, but I think he doesn't get to counter that, so we'll cycle it. +2 on the X, getting a 2/2 shark, killing one of these Killing one of these guys. Here we go. See, he's still got instant speed stuff. He's definitely sitting on another counter right now. Kind of frustrating. Because I'm worried to play anything. I hate having to pick and choose which cards are going to get countered and which cards we hold up, you know? Good old counter decks. Love playing them. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely love playing them. Hate having them getting played against me, though. Say hello to my Sharknado. Gets a card out of him first before he goes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stomp him away right now because I'm sick of him drawing cards. And if we can get that card draw to stop, we're going to be in good shape. Does he have another negate though? No. So that means he's probably held up on a quench. That's a lot of information we just gathered there, so that's really good. As long as we keep 2 open sources of mana, we'll be good, because I think he's sitting on a quench. There we go. Looking good right now. Unless he's brazen. Brazen bar would be kind of annoying. But other than that, I don't think he's going to have anything in blue that is going to be able to contend with our big guy here. Oh, I wonder if he just drew that. Because that would actually came in handy a second ago, huh? Surprised he cycled it away, though. I mean, I guess he probably had to if he doesn't have anything to block these. Again, I apologize again, guys, for my allergies. Like, it's always been a problem of mine my entire life, and it's always gonna be a problem. Oh boy. Can't stop the cycling. I forgot we were sitting on 3 cycles there. Let's go. I'm so happy you guys got to finally see the 4 cycling Godzillas. Such a cool effect, man. And he's got haste and trample. Things just got real. We still haven't run into what I would consider a meta deck, like I don't know. There's a lot of new cool decks out there that people are running that really competitive that I hope we get a matchup with so you guys can see. But as you can tell, the deck is really good. It definitely plays really, really well, and I hope you guys can see that at least with these matchups we've been getting. But yeah, I'm very satisfied with it, guys. And let's just go ahead and jump in. I think we can squeeze in another game here, maybe. It might cut off after this, it might not, but we might get into a game 4 here. Let's see. All right, guys, game number 4 up against Rams. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try. Ooh, okay, so this is an interesting hand. We got Fires of Invention. That's really good, but we don't want to. And we don't have anything else to play in the meantime, so I'm gonna... Opponent goes first. I'm gonna keep it. I'm going to keep it. Can't be mad at the Fires of Invention, so... Okay. Looks like maybe some sort of enchants. Let's see. Let's see where this goes. Hitting a lot of mana right now. Which isn't necessarily bad. Once we get the Cavalier of Flames out, we can just cycle out all those. All right, we got red-white. This isn't great. Red-white's been very strong lately, with some new additions to the Boros colors. Oh, Mentor haste. Prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt to creatures you control. That's not fun. That's not fun. Yeah, this deck is very fast. There we go. That's something. We could stomp away. Oh, we can't stomp away anything. Shoot. This guy. Other creatures. Okay, so at least we could stomp him out. At least we can stomp him out, which we'll have to do right now. Had to do it. We had to do it. All right, enter tapped. All right, so we got to get the Fires of Invention out, and then Bonecrusher Giant just to block. Problem is we need to draw. We have to draw like a Shatter the Sky or something like that. We gotta see a Shatter the Sky. Come on. Not great. Let's do that. Let's do that. Mitigate some of the damage. Get one blocker out here. And then Cavalier will be good because I can bin at least 3 cards next turn. Get a fresh 3 cards and hopefully hit a Shatter. Yeah, this deck that I'm playing against, this Boros deck, is so fast. We took a very bad hand for this deck. Obviously, you never know what you're going up against in a best of 1. So it makes things tough, but I think that's lethal. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I can. Oh, nope, it is lethal. I can't block that. That's a flyer. Yeah, good games. That's too bad, guys. Well, there we go. We finally ran into a deck that's just a little too fast. Next turn would have been interesting because I wanted to play the Cavalier and like I said, bin at least 3 cards depending on what we drew, maybe even 4. And we had a pretty high probability of drawing into a Shatter the Sky, which we would have obviously played, but there's no telling what he had in his hand. Had we survived by 1 or 2, life points, he probably would have had something with haste. So it is what it is. If we would have gone turn 1, that could have been a different game, but I liked it. I thought it was okay. It's just, sometimes you run into a bad matchup, All right, I think that might do it for the video, though, guys. We'll go ahead and break down maybe some things that you might want to change and whatnot. But hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay portion of the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Welcome back, guys, to a breakdown on the deck. And to start this off, guys, I would really like to know what you guys would cut from the deck in the comments below. If you guys want to just let me know what you guys would add, cut, things like that. I'm really open to hearing your suggestions, and trying to make it better. But my own personal opinion, I think everything runs pretty smoothly, and I like the way it feels, and I think it's a really strong deck. The only thing I don't know what to do with yet, guys, is Shark Typhoon. And I know you guys didn't get to see a lot of the Shark Typhoon play today at all, I don't think, but I have had games where this has come in clutch, and I've had multiples on the field, and it was just spitting out sharks like crazy. So it's really good once it gets going. But I've had a lot of games where I haven't been able to even utilize it really. So I'm not sure what to do with it yet, if we're going to keep it, cut it, or what. But I did play test the Great Shark in this deck, but it doesn't actually work out with Fires of Invention. They kind of counteract each other because Fires of Invention, you're only allowed to play cards on your turn. So I am open to suggestions, guys, and let me know what you think about it. And I hope you guys have fun with this, and I hope you guys win a lot of games. Till next time, guys, appreciate you, and have a good rest of your weekend or day. Peace.